It's a ODC, or Offshore Development Center, where it doesn't have any, it has internet. But what is for every browser level, and this forward proxy will be configured on the client setting on the browser level, where browser level. Actually, in the ODC, internet is off. Internet is off. In the ODCs, we will not be having any internet. We don't get internet. It's a security issues. But what we do is we have set up a proxy in our data center where the proxy is getting connected to internet. But the proxy need to be configured where if any user want to access internet in his browser, generally browser will talk to our servers. But before talking to the servers, what we do is in our company, in the user's browser, I don't remember that exactly where exactly. In the browser, if you go to settings somewhere, so in these settings, we have a proxy server. So you need to mention the server IP address of the proxy server. So whenever the client hits Google, it will not go to our normal server, it will go to proxy server. It is redirecting. So this is configured on what side? On the client side. Now tell me, do we need this forward proxy? Remember, whenever I say not required, it is good for your health. I told you that, right? Sorry, yesterday, sorry, I didn't consider much because we were doing a lot of things yesterday, right? So online, I don't remember who asked, but is this clear enough about forward proxy? Online? Thanks. Okay, fine. So what I did is I just gave. I know yesterday I didn't took this, but I just gave little bit difference between what forward proxy and then reverse proxy. I don't want to store this one in my mind. Forward proxy, correct, Dinesh? Because just to divert the internet, we used to use what forward proxy. We used to do this. Right, in the offshore data center, we don't have internet access. But some employees, what they do is, those who are very close to me, they'll ask, hey, what is proxy server IP address? Because the proxy server is handled by me, right? What do you do? I give IP address. What do you do? He configures it in the browser, and then he can start accessing the internet. It is diverting. So that is your forward proxy. Okay, so it is used for most clients. Reverse proxy meaning improves balancing. So forward proxy will be where between the client and internet. Yes, between the client and internet. This one between the internet and server. Once you cross the internet, then it will reach the server. On the server side, we have the reverse proxy. Client side, what we have? Forward proxy. So the client is aware of proxy or not? Which one? Forward or reverse? Forward. Client aware about the proxy. That's why he's putting in the browser the IP address. But proxy customer. Does the reverse proxy known by the customer? Customer somewhere who is somewhere, he type boom.com. How does he know he's going to reverse proxy? He doesn't know, right? For that reason, the server is not aware of the proxy here, the customer basically. So the client must configure to use this proxy. Which one? Forward proxy. But here, server must be configured to use the proxy. Yesterday we have configured reverse proxy, no? Similar way. So here, the best example for forward proxy is here we have Squid, say that. Squid proxy and Tor we have it. We used to use Squid. So here we have Nginx, Apache, HA proxy. So Nginx, Apache we already know. We already used to applying to here. HA proxy is not required, but if you want, it is similar like Apache only. One more HA proxy. Got additional information? You should not forget this, okay? Forward proxy, reverse proxy. Good. Now today I thought to start Git. I thought to start Git, but starting today Git, taking the vacation again, I need to start Git. People will say, "Sir, vacation, sir, I'll get gone, sir, everything." So for that reason, what we do is today we'll have a very short session. In this session, what we do is let's do a little bit interesting. Okay. So the thing here is, assume that we have two EC2 instances. How many? It can be two or how many we want. Let's go with what? Two. That which one here? Amazon Linux 2. Which one I'm using? Red Hat we have used many times. Yeah. Red Hat we have. I was also bored using Red Hat. Right. Let's now use which one? Amazon Linux. There is no difference basically, right? So let's have a shot here. As I said, actually this was about to cover yesterday only, but I just dragged it today. So assume that we have two EC2 instances. How many? Two. So and that two, this one is Amazon Linux EC2, and this one is also Amazon Linux EC2. Very good, Siddharth. I know. But will you be missing it these days? Yes or no? Online? Yeah, of course, me too. Yeah. So Amazon Linux 2. So this is Amazon Linux 2, and this is also here Amazon Linux 2. So generally, if you want to connect from this machine to this machine, how do we connect? We connect using SSH. Remember, what is this here? This is server 1, and this is what? Server 2. Generally, if you want to connect from one server to another server, what we do? We use SSH, and we use login credentials, and then we'll connect. Yes or no? We use PAM file to connect. Yes or no? But without credentials, I want to connect from one server to another server. Don't say roles. Roles will not come picture here, right? So here, how to connect? Granting access to the server without password. How to connect to EC2 instance without password? Let's do. And I will show you today something new also in the mobile extern, but that is called multi-execution commands. So I'll also show you that. So for that, first of all, what we need to do? We need to launch two Amazon Linux 2 EC2 instances. Should we go launch? Let's go. So launch. So I call it as here server 1. Which one here? Server 1. Which one? Amazon Linux 2. Which one here? Let's select Amazon Linux 2. T2 micro and go with 730. Edit it. Default VPC. Which one? 1A. Enable security groups. Default. And then how many missions? 2 missions will launch. Launch instance. Can you tell me what is the command to set the host name? What is the command to see the name of the server? Host name. Host name. What is that? Host name. Who am I is used to see who has logged in. Right? So I'm asking here, what is the command to see the name of the machine? What is that? Host name. And it is giving some IP dash blah blah 172 compute dot internal dot something. I don't want this big one. I want to say as server 1. So can we change the host name? What's the command to change the host name? Which one? Host name CTL. Set hyphen host name. And then give name the name of the server. Right? So here what we do is, here we'll set the server name as server 1, and here we'll set the server name as server 2. So I need to connect from server 1 to server 2 without password. That is the task. So here we are using internet to run the Linux commands. Is it free internet? I hope it will become right. Dinesh is asking one thing here. I have wondered, we are using internet to run the Linux commands. Yes. So whatever that you have running inside the EC2 instance, you are just running the commands. Are you downloading anything? So Linux commands doesn't require internet. If you have operating system already on the machine, you can run all the commands. But if you are using wget and downloading some zip files and then accessing something from internet, then only you will get the bill. Okay. So all the Linux commands are free for you. Okay. So should we go and connect to the server one now? Let's connect. So which one? Open mobile system. Go here. SSH. Put it here. Specify username EC2 user. Advanced and here. And which one here? File. Accept. So we need to connect the same thing for the server 2 also. SSH. So here connect to the server 2. You can make this as a you can manage the credentials here itself. Next time you can here you can create your own username and password guys. So no need to give all the time EC2 minus user. So EC2 user SSH use private key. This one here. Okay. Accept. Okay. So I have two things here. Okay, now online. So what I did here, I have launched two EC2 instances. Now what I do on both the machines, first let me explain the commands and then we'll run it. Okay. See here. The goal of this task is granting access to the servers without a password. So sitting from here, generally what is the SSH command that we used to do? SSH-I. We'll put the PEM file and then EC2 minus user at the rate IP address will give. Yes or no? With the PEM file used for authentication purpose or not? But here if I do SSH EC2 minus user at the rate this IP address, directly should log in without password or without PEM file. That is the task. And this task will be really useful when we are learning Ansible. Say that when we are learning Ansible. Ansible is for what purpose? Configuration purpose. So in Ansible, we have something called master servers and then slave servers, assume for now. So master meaning here main server or not. So can we have multiple slave machines? So this, whenever you run anything here, let's say I told you in Ansible, what we create? Playbooks. Say that. What we create in Ansible? Online, put it in the chat. What we create in playbooks? What we create in Ansible? Playbooks. So here, you create the playbooks here in master server and tell, hey master server, run these playbooks on all the slave machines. As the master server has, so in order to master server to connect to the slave machines, he need to have credentials. Is it good to have credentials for masters? So master should have automatically, he should log into all slave machines with password or without password? Without password. Then only we can run all these playbooks. So instead of teaching there this concept in Ansible, I'm teaching you here in the Linux so that multiple times you can practice it now itself. Okay. So for that, what we need to do is we need to set the host names. We need to set the host names. What is the host name of this machine here at the moment? Okay, now how many terminals that you have here? How many machines have connected? 2 machines. So if you want to go to 2 machines, you need to select this tab once and second tab. First tab, second tab, first tab, second tab. So all the commands you need to run 2 times. All the commands you need to run 2 times. What I need to set the user, I need to set the host name as server 1 here, and I need to set the host name as here server 2. And also I need to run sudo -i on both the machines. And I need to set the password of root. What's that? Root password. What's the command to give the password? Password and then username. Yesterday we created username, user add, Riaz, and then password Riaz we have given. So here root password is not there. We need to set the root password of the machine. What's the command to set the password? Password and then root. And I need to execute this on both the machines or not? I need to execute on both the machines. I need to execute and I'll give my favorite password, root 1 2 3 4 5 6. And then we need to edit this sshd-config, and these 2 things we need to change. We need to enable permit root login as yes, and the password authentication we need to modify this. Which file? sshd-config file. We need to modify and change these 2 parameters inside it. And this need to be done on both the servers. And I need to restart SSH. I need to check the status. All these commands I need to do on both the machines. All these commands I need to do in both the machines. So how many times I need to run these commands? 2 times. How many times I need to run the commands online? 2 times. Instead of doing this 2 times, I can do it only 1 time using a concept called multi-exec. Say that. So this is the beauty of mobile exterm, whereas in Putty we cannot do it. So here what we can do, click on here multi-exec. Do you see here? Multi-exec. If you click on multi-exec, do you see 2 terminals got over? Not only 2. If you want 4, also 4 machines will come here. On all 4 machines you can run the parallel commands at a time. Beauty, no? It'll save a lot of time. So I'm using this command. Super Putty, as you can use it. Okay, now see here. So whatever the commands that I'm running, it will run on the both the machines or not? Okay, now I have a lot of shit here. What's the command to clear? See, when I'm writing, it is writing on the both the terminals or not? Yeah. Tell me one command, I'll execute. Okay, let's do ls or ls minus ltr. You see? Right? What is it here? Host name. See? What is the host name now? Yes, Chandrakumar, we can use mobile system. So the host name is this blah 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 blah. Is it good to see these host names? No. What we need to do? We need to set our own host names or not? What's the command? Host name ctl set -host name and then server 1. What's that here? Server 1. But is it good to give server 1 on both? So what I need to do? I don't want this command to work on the second machine. Do you see in the bottom? Exclude. Yeah. Do you see bottom? Do you see my cursor? Exclude. If you click it, the command will not run. It will run only here. I enter. Do you see? What's that? First, what we need to do? What is our welcome command? So is that permissions? So it says here you cannot set the property because we need to set the sudo minus yes. Okay, I'll remove this. Now what I do here? Okay, so clear. That's why whenever you go, let's use greet the machines with sudo minus yes. Let's greet it sudo -yes. Okay. Now let's run the command again. Host name ctl set -host name server 1. So here exclude. Here I'll run. Here what I say? Uncheck this and call it as server 2, and you need to exclude this and then run this. And now exclude both. And now what do you want to do? Now I want to see that. What is the command? Host name. What is that? Host name. Do you see? That is server 1 and this is server 2. Now if you want to see, we need to put sudo -i. See that? If you put sudo -i, now I can see the server 1 and this is server 2. Clear this one? Using mobile system. Multi-exec online clear now? Good. So now after setting up the host name, first we need to set the password of which one? Root. What's the command to set the password of the root? PASSWD and then what? Root. See, on the both machines is working. Enter. Now it is asking the password. What's the password? Root 1 2 3 4 5 6. Enter again. Root 1 2 3 4 5 6. On both is successfully changed. Okay, Nana, successfully changed. Now I need to. Nana, what is the protocol that you use to connect from one Linux to another Linux machine? SSH. So if you want to use, we need to generate. So we have something called SSH configs are there. So you need to go inside this CD. Say it with me. etc. Which one? SSH. What here? SSHD underscore only no. Sorry, let's go slowly. So etc. SSH. Yes, only no. Is this a directory or file? Okay, what's the mistake here done? We have done, tell me. Very good. So here, what's the mistake? See, guys, whenever this is a very common mistake people will do. They'll try to do something and it will not work. And what they do? Error. Sorry, it's not working. So what do you need to do? What it says here, it clearly says it's not a directory. So what we have is we have a habit of whenever we get an error, we don't see the error. The only feeling that we have here is we got an error, it's not working. So it clearly says Babu SSH d underscore config is not a directory. So what is the command that we should use now here? VI. Which one? VI. So we need to edit the file or not? So okay, now tell me here, what's the command? Should I clear it now? Tell me. I already inside this SSH. Now I do VI. Which one? SSHD underscore config. Enter. So inside this, we have here two things. So we need to go to line number 38. What is the command to go to line number 38? Escape, colon, here put 38. You see where is that cursor? Here. Okay. So here it is commented or not commented? Commented. What we need to do? Uncomment. So I need to press I and then delete that hash. And also we need to go for line number 61. Do you see here? 38. So I need to go for escape and line number which one? No? 61. So password authentication, what I need to put? I need to remove that. And if you want to know, do you see this? Here is the line number. Column number, line number. So I need to save. How to save? Colon WQ, exclamation. So we have done this too. Password root, permit root login, yes, and password authentication, yes. Online clear. And then as we have modified this SSH, what we need to do? We need to restart the service. What's the command to restart? Systemctl, restart SSHD. And if you want to see the status, what's the command? You just need to put the status SSHD. Is the running state active on both? Okay. And see the IP address. You need to, what's the command to see the IP address? Hostname minus I. Now these two EC2 instances will be connected with each other using what? Public IP or private IP? You need to go with what? Private IP. Okay, now, so whatever that we have did on the both the machines are done. Now what I'm doing, I'm exit the multi-execution mode. Click on into exit it. Now I'm back to which one? Server. Which one? Server 1. Now from where to where you need to do the login? Server 1 to server 2. Online put it in the chat where? Server 1 to server 2. For this, what we need to do is we need to generate the keys. What we need to generate the keys. It just like similarly, let's say I want to go to Karthik's house. Let me put it in easiest way. I want to go to Karthik's house. Do you have the keys with me? Do you have keys? Can I go to his house? Assume the Karthik's house is server and I'm my. So can I go to Karthik's house? No. What I need to have? Keys. So whatever the key that you have, I need to have the same key with me. If I have the same keys, can I go inside it without your approval also? That is passwordless login. That is the passwordless login concept. Okay. So for that we need to generate the keys or not. So what is the command to generate the keys here? So let's go to root first. What's the command here? SSH key gen. Say that. Online put it in chat. SSH what? Key gen. Enter. And it is asking here what? Blah blah blah. You just enter. Yeah, correct. Enter. Don't give anything there. So the fingerprint will be generated. So basically keys will be created. So where are these keys created? If you do ls, we have so many things, right? So inside this we have a hidden directory. Can you tell me hidden directories will be starting with what? Dot. Listing is minus a. Listed with here. So here we need to go to what? cd dot ssh. There is no directory here. So here, where do we have this directory? Where is here? Okay, we are in this. And then, oh, it should create it here only, no? So we are in the root. We should go into root now. Okay, are we in the root? Okay. Yes. So cd. So I understand here. The meaning, what here the mistake that we have done is, see, I go back here to cd slash where mistakes, if it comes, you should be happy. If error comes, you should be happy. Remember this, because you'll be learning things. Now, where are we now? Root. So root slash is slash is starting the file system. Inside this slash also what we have a root directory. Where is that? So inside the root directory, ss.ssh directory is there. So what I need to do? Do I need to check it here or I need to go to root? So go to cd where? Root. Okay. And then here, if you do ls, are there any files? No. If I want to see the hidden files, then ls minus here. Do you see this .ssh? This bloody guy is here inside what? Root. So go inside the cd.ssh. If you do ls, do you see these here files? So we have here id rsa private file and id rsa which one? Public file. So what you need to do is simply you're copying the file from this server to another server. Exchanging the keys. So what is the command to exchange the keys here? ssh-copy id root at the rate which IP address? Server to IP address. Private IP or public IP? Private IP. Can you tell me the command here, everyone? What's the command? ssh- copy hyphen ID with what user? We have already set the password. No, root user password. That's why we are logging with the root at the rate. Which one? IP address. Whose IP address? Server 2. Server 2. Which IP address? Private IP address. What are we doing here? We are copying the keys to server 2. Enter. Say yes. And it is asking for what? Password. What's the password? Root 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Enter. And what it is saying? Number of keys added. How many? 1. So the keys has been added there or not? The keys has been added there. So now Karthik has given me a key now. Now we both have the same keys. Now can I enter in your house without key, without your permission? Okay. So here now, if I want to enter without your permission, what I need to do? Simply what I need to do? SSH with that. Now see, I'm clearing it. Now my key is copied into the server 2. So what I do now? Simply SSH, username, at the rate, what? Which one? IP address. So let's take the IP address. Server 2, private. Now generally, whenever you are doing SS to any machine, it will ask for the password or not? Now will it ask for the password? Now we are in which server here? Server 1. Now if I do enter, where I am now? Did it ask for the password? No. Right? Understood? Right? No, not required. Your wish. Your wish. Because when you're copying the, because by default root password doesn't have the password. You can set your own password. When you are pushing the key, it will ask the password, you will give the password. It doesn't matter, need to have the same password on the both the machine. It doesn't matter. Which one? You authenticate to the second one, right? Second one password. Server 2 password. Right? So this is how in real time we'll be doing it. So guys, in real time, whatever we used to do it as a Linux admins way back 15 years back. So I showed you the same thing here where I was doing before, right? So this is really helpful to set up Ansible master and slave concept strategies, because Ansible master server required to log into all the slave machines without password and run the playbooks over there. Let's say for example, I want to install Tomcat. Will you install the Tomcat on all the machines manually? No, right? I have 10 slave machines. Will you install it? No. What is the tool that we use? Ansible. So Ansible has master server, and then all the machines are slave servers. What we do is here now. So we write a playbook which contains the Tomcat information, and we'll run that in master. And master has the information about all slave IP addresses, and we need to do this activity first with the slave. Passwordless login activity need to be done with the slave. Then only master will not ask. Slave will not ask for the password, because master key is there inside the slave. That's the reason master in the Ansible master server, when you write a playbook, that playbook will be executed directly into all the slave machines, and Tomcat will be installed automatically. So to do that concept there, you need to practice from now itself. That's the reason why I have given this topic for you. Clear? Understood? Passwordless login online. Now go to vice versa. We can do it. Yes, you need to copy the key from here to there. Okay. Generally, in real time, one machine talks to another machine in background, so that is clear this passwordless. Yes, exactly, Dinesh. Very good enough. So is it clear? And I've already updated this Linux, this text file into your Google Classroom. What I want you to do is, in this holidays, to set up what? FTP server. Simple. See here, I'll explain. What is the full form of FTP? File transfer protocol. So I already gave multiple options to do the file transfer using WinSCP, SCPs, right? In AWS transfer family, SFTP also I have taught you. So many varieties, different ways I have taught you. And this is also one of the way. So my students need to know multiple ways. If you go to interview, if you ask any question like how to transfer the files, you give 3 options. You choose whichever you want. This represents what? That we have more experience and knowledge. If you say, sir, in our WinSCP tool, sir, WinSCP only we use. But WinSCP, we have so many things, no? For that reason, so FTP setup, launch Amazon Linux 2 machine, right? And then what you need to do, client will be FileZilla, right? And then EC2 server has, if you want to set up FTP, you need to install something called vsftpd. What's the package? vsftpd. So what you need first, you check whether this vsftpd service is installed on there. What's the command? rpm-qa grep here. If there is not there, what do you need to do? Install it. Where does it go and sit? etc vsftpd. Go inside it. And then there is a file called vsftpd.conf file. Remember, in real time, whenever you are modifying any file, 1000% best practice is take the backup of the file first. If you corrupt the file, you need to uninstall and reinstall it, everything. I'm telling you. Powerful, important thing. Many students, many juniors in the companies, what they do is, now I have a vsftp.conf file, which is a main file. And you did edit the file and you saved it. And you don't know what you have saved. And if you start the service, it's failed to start. That meaning your conf file got corrupted. Now, how do you do? Hands up. So what you need to do? First good method is take a backup. What's the command to copy? cp. So cp vsftpd conf file to some backup file I put it. And then go inside it. You need to enable all these things, add all these things, add also this thing, add the lines. So I'm putting here add the lines. All these things lines, if not there, start it and create a FTP. What's the command? You can use user add also, you can use add user also, and then FTP user you are creating on the machine, password you are setting up, and give the permissions. Guys, why I'm putting this project, the small mini project type? Because whatever the commands that we have used before learn, we are using all these things here. Did we use mkdir? We have used ch1, we have used chmod. Remember? Chmod you're changing the permissions, here you're changing the groups, ownership, right? And then install something called firewall inside the machine. And then there's the commands, run it. And then what you do lastly? Open which one? FileZilla. Host name, you need to put, host is the public IP you need to put. Right? And then password, username, what's the username? FTP, user, password, your whatever you want to put, and then port number. FTP using which port number? You can use 20 also, 21 also, both are okay. 21, and then hit enter, you'll be able to connect it and transfer the files. Will you able to do this? Fantastic. Online clear, Nana? So what I'm doing is, I'm uploading this latest linux.txt file in your Google Classroom. Please download this, open it, practice. I want before you coming to next Friday to the class, you should be expert on Linux, whatever I have taught you. Online, okay now? So with this, we have completed Linux. Happy? Whatever I have promised, I have delivered. Right? Good. Kalyani, okay, Kalyani, you are admin. So did we cover most of the things? I think suggesting last week Saturday you have told one project AWS. You have shown me right. Please help me to send the total step document. Okay, send me the mail. Don't worry. What I do is migrations. Okay, you remember that. Okay, so as you're all my previous students, guys, how many are the new students for me here? Online, can you put it in the chat, please? Me, put me. New students. Okay, quite new. Few. Okay. So that project will not be understood by these new people, but one day, let's focus more on DevOps. On one day, I'll inform you that maybe one day on Saturdays or Sundays, right? I'll take a special class for you and I'll teach you that migration 7 hours concept, and also if I say new things, everyone. So there is also, for our previous 530 batch, I did a project, 3-tier project, 3-tier architecture project. So that includes right from load balancer to RDS, right from Route 53. On top of Route 53, if required, Cloud also if required, Route 53, right, all the VPCs inside it, load balancers, web servers, right? And then also, I taught you only external load balancer. I didn't say internal load balancer. In this project, we create internal load balancers and application servers. We're talking to the RDS. So this full-fledged 3-tier architecture project is also said. I taught them to the previous batch. But when time permits, we'll do this. Okay. If not, after the class also, after this DevOps also, one day I'll just announce. You can just come and then we'll learn. Okay. Don't worry. Yes. Okay. So when is your next class? Next Friday. Exactly. Next week, this Friday at 7:30 p.m. Okay. So guys, can you get the final CC for today, please? Online CC with Smile.